Okay, we are back live from the 873. Real G's in the house. Oh, that actually just sprayed all over my over my monitor. Anyway, we're back, casuals. Why are you stroking your fanatic top? Explain why you're so. Go
Ha! Electronic my ass.
on,
Let's
mate.
go, fanatic. Let's go.
So much hype about Electronic joining VP, and then the first game they have together and they fail and they lose. Like you already know that people are just going to be so over the top on Reddit and HLTV forums about how they should probably kick Electronic. But Electronic's probably the problem.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the first game. Let's give
Yeah,
them time.
hang on, my face is too bright. I look like I've been hitting the Essex.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I expected VP to absolutely roll them, and I am expecting still good things from VP.
Yeah, I think that team's far too strong, and I definitely didn't expect Fnatic to win today. I didn't watch it, but that sounds, yeah, it's surprising, definitely.
Right. Let's just jump straight into Pro League then.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, why not? It wasn't on the agenda, it wasn't planned, but that is why we are who we are because we can do that, and we have no real structure. So Pro
Well,
League,
I am passing it all on to you because, as we just said off camera, I've not watched any, and I've been extremely busy. Didn't even know the results. So,
Well, I tell you
so
what, VP effed up my bet. I had VP a nice little bet going, and been quite lucky with some of those wins recently. And VP messed that straight off the bat. So I didn't manage to watch that one, but VP lost to your mighty Fnatic. However, I watched the first map of Astralis Eternal Fire, in which Astralis did look very comfortable. Device was very animated. They, as a team, looked like their morale was very high. They looked very excited to be playing. They were gassing each other up. Bro made some important plays. Stair performed really well. But most interestingly, but I feel like we've been here before with Astralis. We say this sometimes, and we even had it with the Blame F era at parts where they had that one tournament. I can't remember what tournament it was. It might have been the start of Katowice or something, or maybe the major where they looked really exciting and like they were really gassed up and hyped. So they looked really hyped today. But they beat Eternal Fire, and the one map I did see, Eternal Fire looked not at the races at all, pretty dejected. So that's a good confidence booster again for Astralis. If they keep getting these little build ups of, okay, that felt good. We kind of know what we're doing. We're gelling well as a team. Then it pains me to say it. I don't know why, because I don't know why I kind of had this weird inherent dislike towards Astralis, but they could become a pretty strong top 8 team. That's my vibe. That's where I think they end up heading. Don't know. You didn't watch the game obviously, so you can't really comment, but they
no, I've
looked
still
good.
got. I have feelings towards Australis, but like I said last week, I think the more and more time passes, Stabby can kind of get over the whole um, hype.
Stabbing thing,
If that does die, which
and we
it
just keep
seems
and we just start calling them by their real
it's
name.
just who came up with that nickname? Yes, Stabby. Because if it wasn't for that,
Genius.
this news may have passed by now. But that little Stabby nickname is stuck around and he's destroying them still. I feel like that's going to be their that's going to haunt them for
It's
a
been
long
their
time.
gravestone,
Mm.
buried next to each other with that on their gravestone. That's a bit grim. But
But
they
they are a good team. They are pretty stacked. Like I think I said to you, I was doing my fantasy team, and they're such an expensive team. Like it's hard to pick two of their players and then go and make a roster with another three. So they are a pretty stacked team. They should do well, and I feel like they're going to get better. I think you're probably right. Around top 8, they could get there.
biggest mistake of my life, other than choosing Counter Strike as my main game to play, was putting Electronic in my fantasy for Brody. You got zero
Oh, really?
points. Yeah, literally got 0 points. Anyway, but yeah, no. Listen, I kind of weirdly like Astralis more than I did a year ago. I don't know why, but they look good. Eternal Fire looked dejected. Eternal Fire looked like They look like they feel like they should have performed better at the major, and this is like a major hangover where they're still a bit like, well, we should have done better there. Maybe we're not as good as the hype was. That's how it looked watching them.
I
Um,
think just they're playing FaZe next, aren't they, Australis? And they beat FaZe last time they played against them. So
I can't see them beating them this time.
yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel like if anyone doesn't get beat twice in a row by the same team, it's Carrigan.
Yeah, and honestly, we'll come on to them. But anyway, quickly, Vitality beat Sharks. Who are the
Did you
Sharks?
did,
No one
did you watch any of that?
knows. No, because the Sharks are 91st in the world. And, mate, do not know what's going on at Vitality. Weirdly, Vitality feel to me like a bit. I've got no real urge to watch them. They're a bit like a in
What?
footballing teams like an Everton or something. I don't know, just like a
Nah,
boring team to watch. I don't know what. No, but I'm telling you.
no, you're
Oh,
talking out your ass, mate. These are like one of the best teams in the world with like some of the most exciting players. If not, you could argue they've got the most exciting roster.
okay. So I can name you 4 teams I'd rather watch than Vitality.
Go on.
Okay, it FaZe, Spirit, Mouse, Astralis at the moment.
No. What? I
Definitely.
mean, you could say like yeah, in the moment, like the past 3 tournaments, but Vitality are
And
still
fuck it,
one.
I'd rather watch G2 just to watch Monacy. Anyway, go on. Sorry. Just came to
Like
5 teams there.
stick Flames on another roster, and he's the star player. Stick Spinks on another roster, star player.
Yeah, but we're
Zywu,
talking about
star
them as a
player.
team. Yeah, but the team vitality is yeah, great. Move them around. We can all do that. But as a team, I just have no. Look, personally, I have no urge to watch them. If they're playing, I'm just like, okay, cool, good
I
luck.
think you're I think you're stuck in the moment. Remember when they were winning everything and they were like head and shoulders above everybody? It's still the same team.
Well, they struggled against 91st in the world Sharks on the first map. It was 13-11, mate. 13-11. What was going on over there? What are they
What
doing?
what was the next map?
It was I don't know, but they demolished them on the next map. They only got
Okay.
3 rounds, but that should be both maps when you're Vitality playing against the Sharks, Jaws or whatever. They should not be anywhere near giving 11 rounds away. That's insane. Um, so Vitality, whatever. The other big pick, we already touched on Fnatic, which was next on the list. We're not going that. Was FaZe. Oh, everyone can have shirts around here, mate. We've all got shirts. Don't you worry about that. And okay, we watched the whole of the FaZe game. Yeah, Frozen. Oh my word, this guy was hitting every. You know when you're actually in flow state, and you're in flow state. That kind of state of game where you're like running and you run and headshot, and you're like, I don't know how that happened, but I'm riding it out, and but you get like 2 or 3 kills like that in like a couple of successive rounds, and you're like, I can hit shots, I know what I'm doing. That was how Frozen was playing. He was hitting headshots even through smokes, but like 75% of the series, every map he was just like hitting the shots. He was hitting flash. He was flash. Doesn't matter. He's winning the duel. Yeah, man. Frozen just looked insane, and Brokey just looked solid and consistent as well. Those two are really stepping up for FaZe, and it's like showing. I actually think that those two they're the most impactful duo at the moment in Counter Strike. Frozen and Brokey are the two like real impact players at the moment. Not the best players in the world. Like they're not. Monacy's better than Brokey. Don't get me wrong, but them as a duo and like how they kind of just controlling a round and the maps. You wouldn't want anyone else if you had to pick two to slot into a team. Like they are quality. Brokey as well is just even without the AWP, he's just really consistent and holding it down every position, and that is an exciting team to watch at the moment, man. That is really good. And I'm obviously very biased, but fuck me, Carrigan's got them nailed, and they look like they're having fun today as well. And apparently, Yanko was saying after the first map that he spoke to them more, I think, and they haven't done any training. So they Chengdu, and then they've just rested. So after they said they were fatigued and felt a bit, out of it, they've literally just done nothing, which is probably perfect, right? Because again, they're going to go into this weirdly because Brokey said at the end of Chengdu that he used Chengdu as a vacation, and they won it. They almost like might use this as a bit of like, well, we'll see how we get on. So if they make a deep run in this, and if they again imagine they go to the final, that will still be every single final since CS2 has been released. That is insane. That is like, is that not mental? With
Yeah, so they've been to every final.
every single final of a major tournament since CS2 has been released,
Yeah, that's pretty
they're
insane.
they're like, you know, if they beat if they won the major, I think we'd be talking about the phase era now. They obviously didn't win it, so we're not. But if they,
Yeah, in
if
in
they,
my eyes, they were the best team at the major, and I don't like saying things like that because Navi clearly won it, and they won it fair and square.
yeah, and
But
fair play
but
to them.
FaZe are better than Navi. Like no
Yeah.
one would say otherwise.
Oh, Navi's another team I'd rather watch than Vitality as well. Sorry, God, that's 6. Carry on.
That's mad.
It's not mad. It's true.
Yeah, but you've got to appreciate the talent they've got. Like they're such a good team.
Anyway, I throw us off track, yeah. So also interestingly, a graphic they pulled up during the FaZe Imperial game at Pro League. FaZe have played the most maps in CS2 apparently. I think it was 102 maps. It might have been
What
I think
at LAN?
it might have been at LAN, yeah. So they've played the most maps at LAN. I think the next team was Cloud9 with like 71. It's like 30 maps more than the next team. So no wonder they are feeling fucked. But mate, they are
I
out
guess
there.
that's what you get for going to every final.
Yeah, we're just grinding out deep. Yeah, but they're like playing, and honestly, even Carrigan was like laughing, like having a good time today, which is just beautiful to see. And so hopefully they're feeling like they can just keep going, man. They should just grind themselves into retirement at this rate. I'm up for just seeing them just push it
So
so hard that they hate Counter Strike.
okay, so we've only had Group A and B, but you're going with FaZe to win this, or at least get
No, I
all right.
well, I think Pro League is a
Slog.
marathon. Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So they might get a bit tired in this one. I don't know. I think it's a lot of games to get to the final. I mean, again, based on stats and what we've been seeing, if there's any team that's going to do it, it would be FaZe. But I don't know. I mean, Navi's in it. Don't know. Who else do you
Mate,
think might be up there?
well, you've got Vitality. VP technically should be up
We'll see
there.
the Falcons play tomorrow, but no one seems to be holding
Mouse,
up any hope for them.
Mouse
Yeah,
is
Mouse, Liquid. There's big teams in this. It's the kind of thing where like a rogue outlaw team like Gamer Legion or Pause or Monty end up just bloody pushing on as well and getting there. Do you know what I mean? Like a bit random. To have a really good run and get to the final. But
yeah. Maybe we'll have a proper
couple of let's get this first opening rounds done, I think.
yeah group C and D need to play, and then I guess we'll have a better idea of how everyone's looking.
Yeah, yeah. Um
So talk to me about this article you've
Okay,
been
so
reading.
shout out Nero, right? The HLTV geezer that just seems to put out banger and banger after article, man. The guy's sick. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because you and me had a discussion about stats and rating and the importance of those, particularly in, I think, well, would you say it's important in pro games or casual games? I don't know, but we've been noticing it more in our level of games where we might think we're doing something well and the stats don't really reveal that. And then they release this article about the CT side of the pro scene and who's underperforming and who's overperforming. And I just thought it was quite a nice little link in. And the interesting things that I took from the actual article were, and I tell you why I thought it was interesting. The main things I thought were the work they talked about the positions on maps, which I don't know. We can go into if you want, but I'm not that interested in because as a casual, all the positions can be a bit shit depending on who you're playing against and what they choose to do on T side. Do you know what I mean? Like if they just rush, like you could be fucked at any bomb site if that's what they're just doing. But the more important thing for me was the riflers with the easiest positions. I thought was cool because this is based on the pro scenes like analysis of the easiest positions and which riflers had them.
Yeah,
Dia
yeah,
Dia from Ents, who's not been playing well since the Ents core left. Yeah, he's been not good at all. He's got one of the apparently got Eastperson. Axile, who's only just started performing a bit better, but again has been notoriously bad since CS2 came out. Apex, these are just names I picked out. Apex, but he is an IGL, so you can maybe forgive that. He's got other things that is fine. Imma also has potentially a easy position and is definitely underperforming, people would say. So I just thought that was quite interesting to note that there are ways that we can interpret some of these guys, and it's like you might think people are being harsh on like a Axar or Imma, but if they're deemed to have easier roles than or positions than someone else in the team who's out fragging them, then I think it is quite important to take note on that. Um, the riflers with the hardest positions were not surprising at all. There was just like loads of anchor rolls and IGLs, so I just think that's understandable. Like those are the hardest positions, and they're probably not going to be performing that well. And then I thought the overperforming riflers were really interesting. They had like the usual people and then like Donk and stuff, but apparently the overperforming um, CT side players were Magisk, which that one's not as surprising, right? I think everyone kind of rates Magisk and knows the work
well,
he puts in.
can did you explain like how this kind of works, how the
No, I
rating
didn't. I just been going on a
so
tangent.
so basically they're rating the hardest positions with the easier positions and people's rating in those positions, and that's how they're finding what position is a more difficult position to play based on players' ratings.
Yeah,
And they're rating these players based on the positions they play. So Magis, for example,
yeah,
he's like the third highest rated in the overperformers, but this is based on the fact that he does well in difficult positions.
exactly. Yes, you've
Whereas Donk plays easy positions, but he plays them really fucking well.
yeah, he's performing so out there that he's classed as overperformer. He could take any role to be classed as an
Yeah. So
overperformer.
these overperformers, for example, there's we'll have to maybe link this article into the episode so people can see what we're talking about. So, for example, like Jim Fart, he's he's in this top 10
Overperformer.
or top 15. Or is it top 10? Top 10 players of the overperformers, but he's not playing specifically like easy roles or even really difficult roles. But the roles he's playing and the positions he's in, he's not
Yeah,
expected to have a really high score, but he is doing.
yeah.
Same with Magis, and a few of the others on this
Mate,
list. But
JL was on there, which I thought fair play to him. You
yeah,
know,
JL's another one in that category. He's got low expectations considering the positions he's playing in, but he's overperforming.
which I think when you look at someone like that and given his performance at the major and MVP, and he because of again is the hype around his transfer to Nabi, right, from Apex. He's got a lot of stick over the last year, yeah. And I guess when you start looking at the MVP win, and then you look at this kind of article that's breaking down how he's actually an overperformer, you got to actually start really putting some respect on JL's name, I think, and probably talking about him in more of a top 10, 15 HLTV player. Like, why wouldn't he be?
I
Because
think JL's getting there. He's definitely since the major. Now, I don't think he was on the map since the major. He's now on the map. People are like, okay, is this guy legit? I also think his personality, in a way, doesn't help him in a weird way. most of the top players that we would say is the best players in Counter Strike at any given time, they have a certain type of personality.
Temperament, yeah.
Yeah, JL is such a happy, laughing, jokey type guy that you can't see this guy as like a killer. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a sick player, but I think people don't realize how good he actually is
It's such.
because of
Well, you
because
think
he's
it's
such a nice, happy
disguised?
guy.
Yeah, disguised by that. It's a shame though because we need more. We need more personality in this game. Do you not
Yeah,
agree?
definitely.
So we
Oh,
would.
100%.
So we need more JLs. We need more donks. We need more
Whoa,
Carragans.
why
We.
you why'd you mention Donk?
Well, I
He's
like.
not got a big personality.
Well, I think he's. Well, when he's playing in the game, he's charismatic and shouting and calling
Okay.
people cunts and cocksuckers.
Yeah, usually like when he's being interviewed though, he's just like, I
Well, he's
don't know.
also a 16-year-old lad who's probably a bit like now he's out of his comfort zone at that moment in time. But what I mean is like personalities in and out the server. Then however you want to dress it up, a JL, Donks, Carragans, like these kind of people. You're thinking, okay, yeah, they're exciting to watch. Cadian, these people, um, exciting to watch and listen to because otherwise it is just boring. It's not boring, but it's like
So
what we want to see that passion.
yeah, no, I
But
agree. I
okay,
think
so sorry, go on.
go on. So I was gonna say, so how are you relating this to the casual
The
CS
casual
player?
experience. Okay, so exactly. Thank you, really. Right, I played a Faceit game the other day, and it was Anubis, and very nice team. Shout them out. We won. I got carried. Didn't play well at all. Was tired. It was late at night, and I should never queue when I'm tired late at night, and I still do it, and I regret it every time. And I was holding A on my own, A Anubis on my own, completely on my own. We had three B and one mid. Yeah, I don't know why they just insisted on doing it, so I was like, whatever, I'll hold A. And I reckon 4 rounds on CT, I used utility to basically just slow them completely down to allow my team to rotate. And it would be like a molly or a smoke or successful flashes, which meant that I wasn't doing much damage and I was still the first person they'd see on site when they actually got through the utility. So often I'd die and be met with like 3 or 4 Ts just pushing me and I'd do a bit of damage. But basically, my stats were suggesting I was dog shit. Like it was really not good. But what I said to you after, I said that's really annoying because I came out of it with a rating of like 0.88 or something, and I don't usually perform like that. And I just felt like I was doing so much. Like I was really thinking about what I was meant to be doing and putting in the work, and it just wasn't reflected in the stats. So it just how it's linked into this article was I felt like I was actually overperforming in a role I was given, which was to hold a whole bomb site on Anubis on my own as a casual at a low setting. And I thought, I'm overperforming here, but no one's recognizing it at all. Like, to be fair, my team were nice people. They weren't dicks. They weren't just like, you're shit. They were just, we just got on with it. We won because they were a couple of really good players. But my point was that I was actually overperforming in a really shit role, which was
Yeah, it sounds like your team put you in a really difficult situation,
yeah.
but you kind of stuck with it and you held your own, which more people need to do. Like, especially in Counter Strike, it's too easy to start kicking off and giving people shit, especially when you're not playing well and you're not getting help. But I guess we're a little bit older than the average Counter Strike player, and we're a bit more mature, a bit calmer. We're not going to be like, "Why are you not fucking helping me on A? What the fuck?"
We definitely still sometimes say that help or like what why just watching or whatever. I don't know what we say, but yeah. Well, I just think the game left me with actually a bit of like a sense of satisfaction despite my rating. Like I felt like I'd achieved some stuff and actually added to the team, even though my KD ratio and my 2.0 rating wasn't like the sexiest. I felt
Yeah.
I felt
Well,
quite sexy.
I get these games quite often where I feel like you can have a bad rating and statistically they can say, "Oh, you've not played well," but I
Yeah,
feel like I've had a good game, and I try and tell other people this when they have bad games. Like usually, like our friends, like I'm
yeah,
like, it doesn't matter how many kills you've got or how many deaths you've got.
you do
Like
like saying that. Yeah,
as long as you play your role, because I could have a game, and if there was no scoreboard, I'd be like, "Oh, I played really fucking well." But then I look at the scoreboard, I'm like, "Oh, no, I've not played well." But it doesn't matter. Like I've said to you a million times, if you're on CT and no one's coming to your bomb site, but then you're getting a 1v1 clutch or whatever, that's a fucking brilliant round.
yeah.
Or if you've not
Well,
got loads of kills, but you're flashing for your teammates or getting assists or using utility well, which at our level, which is I would say very average player, maybe slightly above average, is there's not people don't really use util very well, and it
no.
is very under recognized. And I think in general, even comms, like I would say communication is probably the biggest one that gets gets overlooked at our level. People don't communicate enough, and it's also not appreciated how when you do give good communication.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not appreciated.
Yeah,
But
that and utility is like the two underrated things at our level.
and also, yeah, and I think using both those things. Okay, the one thing I noticed from the game I played, and also from watching some of the pro stuff recently with Carrigan at the major, yeah, is the ability to slow a rotation down or speed a rotation up. So if you're on T, causing a distraction and slowing down the opposite team completely rotating to another site because they might think, oh, they're still looking to push here or there's still someone here. So slowing that rotation down to get the bomb down or let the bomb pick up a bit longer, that is like as valuable as a kill or two kills. And it still works the same way as well. If you're CT, slowing down the push onto site to allow your team to rotate, that is actually just as important as like one kill, two kills. And I think, especially in our level in a casual setting, people will take a kill over that. If you said to a normal casual player like a basic 7 or 8 level player, or maybe a bit lower, maybe that might be a bit high actually, but if you said, "Oh, would you take 2 kills or slowing down the round to allow your whole team to rotate?" They go, "I'll take 2 kills." But actually, slowing down the round for your whole team to rotate is actually probably more important. Weirdly, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, um, yeah. I think it's a tough one because depends on the situation of the two kills. But like you're saying, if you're slowing down a rotation, if your team are getting chance to if you're on A on Anubis, for example, and your team have had time to maybe flash out a B, peek it, kind of realize no one's there, or
Mm.
push up mid and realize no one's there, it really closes the map down. And even if they don't do that, if you're holding off people from trying to push into a bomb site, if their whole team, which is likely to be around mid A area, the map's getting smaller for them anyway, regardless of whether someone's pushed out a B or not, because they don't know if anyone's pushed out a B or not.
Yeah,
So they're getting more claustrophobic and they're thinking, I don't want to go back, but maybe we should go back where we can't really get this rotation here. Um, and they might start rotating, but they're concerned about whether someone's pushed them.
yeah,
So it is really, really valuable to hold off players and use utility at the right time as well. Like not just use it all
start
just
the
for the sake
round.
of it. Not yeah, or just
Start the round.
literally just run in the bomb site and throw your smoke.
There's
It,
a um,
it-
there's a real beauty and art in finding the right time to use utility. What I find is either throw it right at the start and go like rah, like like Tourette's throwing of all my util, or I die with like every nade and I've not used any of it. There's like no middle ground.
yeah.
It's like
I think there's there is a there is a really specific like what's the word? Like the way you use utility really depends on how the other team are playing. Like
it's like a
obviously if
situational thing.
yeah, if they're rushing you and you can kind of adapt to how they're playing, especially if you're playing CT side. You can adapt to how they're playing. If they're rushing, obviously you can just start nade. You can volley them. You can smoke it. Uh, and same if they're playing slow, you can delay your utility a little bit. Start, nading where you think they are. So utility is really important, and when players start to understand the game better, um, you start using utility better. Like you played a game the other day, and you sent me the stat page, and I was looking, and the team you played against had no utility damage, no enemies flashed, and you still lost. But that for me is just like if you showed me the utility usage of each team, I would have said these guys won 100%,
Mm. Mm.
which which I think is
What does
outrageous.
that
And
mean? There was shit.
And
I
to
don't
be
know what
honest,
it means.
it wasn't a face it game, was it? And
No.
I, you know what I'm like. I'm not one of these people that just calls bullshit on everything. But at the moment, especially since we were in that game and the guy was clearly cheating, and everywhere I look at the minute, it seems like cheating is getting worse and worse and worse.
If
I
you're
can't
if
look at stats like that
Yeah,
and not be a little bit suspicious.
yeah, I agree.
So it's difficult at the minute. Counter Strike's in a difficult place. I think if you want to play and you want to have fun and you want to take it serious, you just got to play face it. But it's a shame that
It's
we have
actually
to do that.
shocking that we haven't had a proper update. Are we even realizing what's happening now? Because I'm not in some weird blind casual bubble where obviously we don't play as much as we'd like to, and maybe that's why I don't give Valve or whatever enough stick. But they're a fucking joke actually, because we
Yeah,
just sat here with nothing happening. Not even It's not even the cheat situation. That's the biggest thing. But any changes to this game at all, and to be so disrespectful to a fan base as loyal as us is actually insane when you
yeah.
think
To
about it.
start releasing skins and stuff like that, and just trying to make money off us again. And what you, because their argument for the anti cheat is they don't want something so invasive, um, like the Valorant anti cheat
Hmm.
is like really, really. What would you? How would you describe it? What's the word?
Intrusive.
Yeah, really intrusive. Like apparently they can literally control your computer, do
Yeah,
everything, and
yeah,
see
but
everything. But it's like Warel did a really good video on it. One of his recent ones, probably his last one, on the anti cheat. And I would rather they have complete access to my computer and play without
they can
cheating.
have access to Why are they going to see the notes for this fucking podcast?
Yeah,
Or like, what?
exactly.
I'm not going to be harboring, you know, financial information that's going to make people millions, or threatening information that's going to take down the government. So they can have my computer, so I can play CS. It's
So
fine.
yeah, you'd be happy to Valve to do that. I mean, I'm the
Oh,
same, and I
I've got the
imagine most
Valorant
people would
one.
be.
I've got the
I think what is it just an excuse for Valve? Like, what do you think they
I don't know.
genuinely care about that stuff?
I don't know what we do. What can we do? I want.
Well, I told you I saw people are saying, right, let's not buy any keys to open any chests, um,
Okay,
or even
I'll do
buy
that.
buy skins on Steam. Like it, I I will happily do that, and I
I'll do
think
that.
if a lot more people stop buying keys, stop spending money on Counter Strike, then they'll fucking do something because they care about money, and we know that for a fact.
Okay, so this is it now. We'll cut this up into a short. You listening now, stop buying skins and keys for Counter Strike. The cheating
No more
situation is
skins.
so
No
bad.
more skins.
Do
Yeah,
not do it. We're taking
it's
a
really bad.
stand.
Like to a point where like I'm playing a game now and I'm like, oh, these guys did okay and they beat us, but that guy, like you played the other day and no one had thrown a single nade. What the fuck? Who doesn't throw a nade? Like they didn't even flash
Well,
anybody.
they might have been as be as bad as I was not long ago throwing nades, but pointlessly. What was it? Okay, this is one for the listeners and viewers. If you've got friends like Briley, you don't need enemies. I sent him a link to my stats for a game just to be like, oh, like I don't know why we do share this stuff, but I sent it to you, and you're like, yeah, no, you need to really be thinking about your utility damage more. You know, you said, are you throwing your nades pointlessly, or should you be throwing them with intent? And I'm like, bro, it's like 11 p.m. on like a Thursday. Fuck off, mate. I'm just playing a game.
Mate, I'm Carrigan. It's true though. People throw nades. I watch it all the time. They just throw a nade, and I'm like, why the fuck did you just
I
throw your nade?
I know.
Like, why did you just throw it? There's like literally no reason why you just threw that nade.
I respect the feedback. I just wasn't expected to be critiqued. Like,
Well, when you send me your stats, that's what I'm expecting. You're expecting. So I think you sent me this stat page for a reason. So
yeah, no. Obviously,
I'll give him some feedback.
I do appreciate it's good. It is good, and again, I put my utility usage all down to you because you genuinely taught me how to use flashes. Sorry,
Right.
no, but
I've said this before, but you need to teach me how to shoot.
yeah, well, we can try. We can try. Right, let's move on because I want to wrap this up because it's getting late. And the only other thing I want to talk about maybe was just Cloud9, because I don't know what's happening there. Do you know what's happening there? If you don't, because I don't, we can probably call it a night anyway because it's just mental. They've benched Perfecto and Hobbit after selling their best player. So what does that
No, mate,
mean?
I've been living under a rock. This is news. What have they done?
So they have benched Perfecto and Hobbit after
Right.
obviously selling Electronic to VP, which means their team now consists of Boomage, Big Boom, the legend, the myth, the man, and Exile, who's Exile. So the team is that at the moment. So let's give Cloud9 a 9 month rundown. They lost Shiro to Spirit. They've now lost Electronic to VP, and then they've benched Perfecto and Hobbit. The fuck is
Right.
what is going on?
I mean,
What's happening? I don't
no,
know. I'm
I'm
asking
not.
you. You don't know because you don't know that was news, but it's mental. They must have a plan. There must be something going on.
Well, you keep telling them to get Monacy.
Well, they need more than that now.
Yeah, I have no idea. So I guess there's something on the cards. They've not just gone right. We're benching you two without anything. I
Well,
feel
this
like I
this
saw a Hobbit on this. Hobbit, the riflers with the hardest positions, and he's in the top, one of the top ones there. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, so I thought it might be something relevant, but it's not really that relevant. God knows, mate. God knows. They've decided they've lost their best player. Let's just fucking do a total rework. Which, to be fair, why not? They've not been doing anything. They've not done any. They're not getting anywhere. So fair. I don't know what they're gonna do with Perfecto and Hobbit though. Gonna sell them?
well, yeah, I guess they're open to transfer. So where do they go? Who take? I
How does Boom feel about this? I mean,
don't know. It felt
that's
it
isn't it?
felt like they had glimpses of actually looking really decent. I don't. If they just solved the AWP
I
problem, it
don't know.
felt like they were
It's
kind of there.
it's one of those. Are you happy at being a mediocre team?
Oh yeah,
They weren't. Like
yeah.
and Electronic wasn't. Did Electronic leave off his own back, or did they sell him? Or
Well, they sold him, but I don't know. The rumors were that it was a quick opportunity, and I don't know. I don't know, but I think they made money. I think I don't know, mate. All I know is it's just bizarre. But well, I think in the absence of us clearly being bamboozled by that news and not knowing what we're talking about with it, let's wrap it up for the week if that's all right with you. Unless you've got anything else you want to put in the
no, I
mix.
guess we will update everybody on Cloud9
Yeah,
next episode.
yeah. When something's happened. We've got a skin giveaway coming up. We spoke about it last week. We are going to have a skin giveaway coming up. More information to be revealed, but it will be a skin raffle given to subscribers of the channel. So watch this
Yeah, I mean,
space.
that's everybody who subscribes. So subscribe, get subscribing now, basically. Like we probably should have said this at the start of the pod, right?
We'll do
If it
another
was-
little thing for it, yeah.
But yeah, we're not gonna do it. We're not. It's not gonna be next week. But subscribe, get subscribed, and you could. There's a very good. I mean, have a look at our subscribe numbers. It's not that high. You've got a very good chance of winning this.
This is your best chance of winning a skin.
Yeah, it must be.
Love it. Right, peace out. Let's go play a game, man. Let's go shoot some heads. GG. Thank you
GG.
everyone for listening.